So we've just looked at Peterson and Peterson's study from the 1950s about trigrams and rehearsal and its role in memory. And now we're going to look at biology. So quick quiz. These should be animations so that it appear one at a time. I give students mini whiteboards, and the question comes up. They try and answer it, and they have 30 seconds or something, and then here is the answer. Of course, you can add to this, copy and paste a new slide, add more questions if you like. So yeah, we've looked at the stores, the control processes, and Peterson study, and now we're going to look at a second study about the biological evidence. And really, this is what we're looking at. How does HM's case study support claims of the multi-store model? So we want them to have to summarize the case study and link it to the multi-store model. Now, this is, I think HM is such a famous case study that this is one of the few topics where I'm fine having YouTube teach my students about it. They do a far better job than I ever could. This is a pretty interesting clip about Clive Wearing. You may choose not to show this if you're worried they're going to get the two of them confused, but it does, since we don't have any video footage of HM, this is quite interesting to actually see someone with the similar damage and similar cognitive impairment as HM. This is a really good 6-minute talk that kind of summarizes everything. And then this is a typical American Discovery Channel over-dramatization of the surgery and the aftermath. But I think it is really well done. And so, yeah, I would get them to watch that. In the workbook, I've got guiding questions, so they're not just turning off their brains and vegging out, but actually watching, trying to seek and find the answers to those questions as they watch those videos. And then I'll change this so this comes up one at a time. But these are the questions that I put in the workbook to keep them focused on the videos and the answers there as well. Okay, and then I'd get into a bit of chalk and talk, really briefly, just talking about the aims, procedures, what they tried to do. If you haven't read the original of Milner and Scoville, I recommend the full thing can be found online, and it's really pretty interesting. Some of the things that they asked and the examples they give of his memory problems. Okay, and then what I explain here, and this is more text than I usually like to have on a PowerPoint slide, but it can be pretty tricky to link HM's case study with the multi-store model. But if we think, okay, if memory was all one store, then there wouldn't be a problem with transfer. Because if we think, then if short-term and long-term memory was all in one place, then you couldn't have a problem with transfer, because if one got damaged, then it would all get damaged, right? But the fact that he can't transfer the information from one place to the other suggests that they are stored in different places, because it's the transfer between the two that is the issue. And that's one of those things that, in my brain it makes sense, but when you try to explain it, it is rather tricky. So yeah, you might want to adjust this and put it into your own words. But perhaps an easier thing to explain about HM's case study is the star tracing task. And this can be used to show localization of function, in that the hippocampus function could be in declarative memory, and so explicit memory, and not perhaps so much implicit memory or procedural memory, because while he couldn't remember doing the task, he got better and better at it. And that's something that's been found in other studies as well. In the Universe Within, I like to tell the story, the documentary, Our Brain, the Universe Within, I think with David Suzuki. There was a guy who had a similar problem. He was trained to be a lawyer, but then he had these same memory problems due to an accident rowing. And so he became a furniture maker, because he could remember how to make furniture, and he got really good at making furniture. And he just kept a notebook of where he was at. But he also had the same problem. Like, he forgot that he wasn't a lawyer anymore, and he was a furniture maker. And so, he wakes up and he's got these half-finished wicker chairs in his house going, oh, okay, I build furniture now. But if you can track that one down on the Universe Within, I have a hard time finding that online. But, that's a nice little anecdote as well, which is similar to this idea of procedural memory, declarative memory. But anyway, students need to be able to, I would get them to read this lesson in the textbook, and so then they're really trying to answer this question and give them feedback on this. It would be about maybe 2 to 4 sentences, but it's going to be the difference between a mediocre answer and an excellent one if they can make that link. All right, now that's the end of the first topic, multi-store model, just 3 lessons. There's also some material there for a 4th lesson, which looks specifically at how to write short answer question responses about theories and models. And so you could do that one next, but I would just have a quick reflection here. And then the next topic, which will go in the full pack, is the working memory model. So that's what we're looking at next. Oops. Why won't you stop? Stop.